All right, let's do it live on a Football Friday. Am I on? Am I on now? Hello?
It's helpful to have a light. It's helpful to have a light.
Hello? Oh, there you go.
So it's interesting. I had to sit there yesterday.
You did, yeah, because we have ailments.
We had ailments in the house. Today, all we have is winning in that house, by the way.
Yeah, I had a big moment this morning. I was doing my morning activities, my responsibilities. The children are off. The children are off of school today, randomly on a Friday.
Off?
Just take a Friday. Why not? Who gets hurt?
Just advance
advance it a little bit. And so it was a slumber getting out of bed for all of them. So I had already started the live portion of Away We Go. The lights are on. Let's go. And I came out around the end of the third segment, and to see Bootsy sprinting from downstairs to upstairs. Dad, I'm playing Fortnite with Mr. Z. My headset doesn't work. I got to go get this one.
Yeah, that's what he came back
Sprinting
and
said.
Up.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to run upstairs.
Can't have it. Got to have it. Then like 50, next segment gets done. We got a Vic, Dad. Got a Vic. Fantastic. Glad you're having a nice morning, buddy.
He's great.
He's real excited.
It was really fun talking with him. He's like, I'm better than I was last time, Mr. Z. He's like, I got this guy. And then he got
Has he improved?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's better at it.
Yeah.
Bishop putting in hours. I'm putting in hours. Zagura's putting in hours doing something I don't even know.
It takes a village to raise a child.
It does, yeah.
And I'm a part of that village for my Bootsy.
Did Beamsy play too, or was it just?
No, he was there commentating.
Oh, he had.
And weighing
he was
in.
okay. Yeah,
and he was feeling better. I asked how he's doing. He said he's feeling better.
Yeah.
I was like, Bootsy, is Beamsy still sick? He's like, I don't know.
Why would it affect him?
Yes, I don't know. I think so.
Doesn't matter to him. How does it affect his life? He said nothing's changing for him.
He's so great, though. I was telling you, so we were talking about hoops, and he's like, yeah, I scored 14 points the other night. I was really pumped, Mr. Z. I'm like, I heard you were basically the offense. I said, but I also heard that, sometimes you start a play on the wrong side. It could be tough. So
how do you take that?
You got to be locked in. He's like, I know, Mr. Z. I'm locked in. And then my favorite was just out of nowhere where it's in the middle. He goes, hey, Mr. Z, sometimes at recess I play football. Sometimes I play basketball. And I'm like, that's great.
World's your oyster.
It's great.
It's whatever he needs.
I love to play football at recess.
It's great.
Me too. It sounds great.
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
Sling the pigskin around a little bit.
Sounds like a really fun time.
All right, lots to get today. We continue the battle for Ohio. Yep. We got to get a win in this one. They beat us here, so we try to get a win and perhaps spoil their season. Their playoff chances took a small step in the right direction with the win last night on Thursday Night Football. You're welcome. I believe we had that on a Thursday.
Easy. We laid it out for you.
Yeah.
We said if it weren't a Thursday, for those who are not paying attention to the scores, if it were not a Thursday, Chargers.
Yeah.
By what? I think we said 7. Sure enough.
Nailed it. I was unaware.
That line made no sense.
It made no sense. I was unaware of that play.
No, I was very aware.
I know. You figured you probably would be. I was unaware that was – I've never seen it tried.
So it's been tried, I think, 15 times between the 76 that Ray Wersching made one, and this one had never been made for because they were always like 75 deep. Because it's a hard thing to have happen. You would either need a punt that is the last play of the half that was shanked, but not shanked out of bounds, just like shanked super high that you could fair catch a short punt that gives you a shot at it, or you knew what happened last night where it's a punt, fair catch interference, you get the 15 yards, and then you go ahead. And I mean, after we watched the video of Cameron Dicker, for him to get that opportunity, I feel like was great for him, massive.
Go to the Chargers social channels and watch the Cameron Dicker video about trying to get him to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Worth your time.
Salesman.
Worth your time.
Absolutely is.
Very much like a character from Gemstones or Kenny Powers.
But that's really what he looks like.
He really does. I mean, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Whoever was like, okay, we're just looking at you and we know that this is what it needs to be, that was a good job by them because
I want to run something else by you.
Justin Herbert's awesome. Agreed.
That's where I'm going.
He's
so
I love him so much.
When you watch him play, first of all, I'm very thankful that he has Jim Harbaugh because I think they will be competently coached from here on out.
They need to get him weapons.
I am also. It's not lost on me that they wasted the early part of his career when he had elite talent with incompetent coaching because the way that he can play the position is as good as anybody in the league. His arm talent is as good as anybody in the league.
If it was Harbaugh with
from
in
year
their
one.
prime, Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, they're doing some.
Yeah, they're damaged. They're going things, and it took them probably a year too long on Staley for that to happen. But it's fixed now. He did, and now their talent masked it a little, and made you think that their coaching was better than it was. But now they're in a situation where they've got their cap sorted out. They can now go and draft talent at the skill positions. They can be a player in free agency at the skill positions. It's Los Angeles. It's playing with that guy. Now all of a sudden Harbaugh's there. They got culture. Like, they can flip on a hurry into the Buffalo, Kansas City stratosphere.
Just
quickly.
Think if you're
Baltimore, all
the
that.
Raiders, you're dealing with that, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And Denver is...
No, they're not going anywhere either.
No, not bad with Sean Payton, Bo Nix. They look quite good. I don't understand why, watching that game, like, Estime looks like a real dude.
He does, yeah.
Why is he gets like 10 carries?
I don't know.
Run the ball. He was running it great.
He had it on his play sheet. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Albright
run the ball.
Showed that. Run it.
But then he wouldn't.
Exclamation points, and he wouldn't.
Then he
I don't know.
refused.
I don't know. It's wild.
Maybe somebody wrote that for him, and he was like, I'm going to show you.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But no, so what this does for Cincinnati is it takes their playoff chances from 8% to 12.8. So very minimal. And
it's 50% increase.
That's true. So now they get Denver, they get us, they get Denver, they get Pittsburgh. Denver gets them, and Denver gets Kansas City. So there's a roadmap that's believable because they need both Denver. They need Denver to lose out, and they need the Chargers. Well, it's really Denver because the Chargers would be in. It's that last spot.
The Chargers
would be the Denver
are like 99%.
spot. Yeah, so then it would be Denver. So Denver to lose out, which they control their destiny on one of those games, and then the other one is Kansas City. And you say, well, is Kansas City going to play anybody in Week 17 in their final game? Well, they may have to. Because they have to go 2-1 or they will not have home field. They'll lose it to Buffalo because Buffalo's going to win out. They have Jets twice and they've got Miami. So Buffalo's going to win their games.
And the hard part is also for them is that most likely the Steelers are going to be playing for something. Now, if they beat the Ravens this weekend, they win the division, but then they're still going to be seeding-wise.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jockeying for that.
The Colts is the other kind of monkey wrench here because they need the Colts to lose out, which I think they'll be fine. I think they'll lose. They don't play much.
No, the Colts have to lose once. I think if they win out, if the Bengals win out, the Colts have to lose once, the Dolphins have to lose once, and their final three just once.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. What did I say? We'll lose out?
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant lose once. And their schedule isn't that ambitious. It's like the Giants, Tennessee, and maybe Jacksonville, but they are Indy, and they'll lose one with that quarterback throwing half the completions.
Yes. Yeah. Good game last night, though. Good game, fun game.
It was fun.
And the Chargers got it done. Yeah, that's a team that you probably don't want to see in the playoffs, but you're also saying to yourself, they just don't have the horses of the other teams They don't have the horse of the other teams that are like in that area.
No, they don't have enough weapons for him to scare you. What did he end up last night? 23 of 31 for 284 and 2 touchdowns. Crazy.
The touchdown he threw rolling left with.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, he's
unreal.
He really is.
I mean, he's long been one of my favorites. He is unreal.
I did see a Bengals injury report. Burrow and Higgins both go.
No designation.
They're going, so they'll be playing on Sunday as expected.
Yeah.
I didn't think those guys
it's
would.
All hands on deck. Browns, by the way, 9-4 in their last 13 games against the Bengals. It's an opportunity to go 10-4 since 2018. We have not been
a hell of a
swept
thing
in that time.
What are we up to? Ooh, we are now sitting at Cincy -9, a Niner.
Yeah, I don't know why that's
jumped
continuing
point
to
and a
go
half
the wrong way.
Yeah, jumped a point and a half, 9.
We're starting DTR in his third NFL start against Joe Burrow on the road in a must-win game for the Bengals. We lead the league in giveaways over the last 7
No, I know, but it
weeks.
would have been known that the DTR was quarterbacking when we did guess the scores yesterday, and it was 7.5. So it's ballooned on that side of things.
On our side, Myles and the Chief returned to practice today.
Okay.
We'll get official status here in about 25 minutes. Shelby Harris, only player not practicing. MJ and Tillman practicing, but still in concussion protocol.
Man,
that's a long time, man.
That injury was suffered against the Steelers on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So he had 10 days, 17 days, 24 days. This would be 31 days out.
That's a long time, man.
If he's unable to go. Yes, it is quite a long time.
Yeah, that's quite concerning. So we'll see. And as Gibbe said, official word from Coach here in about 20 minutes. There's some unprecedented sporting events that are happening. Notre Dame is playing a college football playoff game tonight against Indiana in South Bend. Images of what amounts to a snow globe from South Bend this morning are making their way around. This is the hottest ticket in the playoff is Indiana Notre Dame. It's the most expensive on the secondary market by by 4 times any of the other ones because, of course, it's the Indiana State Championship, and these two teams don't play very often.
They don't play at all.
No,
right?
No, they don't play. That's been forever. I saw Tony Kornheiser, who I absolutely adore, on PTI with Mike Wilbon talking about how college football, its attack on the NFL by playing these games on Saturdays. I don't necessarily think of it as that. There is a law that prohibits the NFL from playing on Saturdays to protect college football until the second Saturday they can start, or the third Saturday they can start playing Saturday games, I want to say, in an effort to protect. What does he have?
What's that?
It looks lovely. Looks lovely.
This is nice. He wrapped them.
Wrapped? Oh, you wrapped it. Oh, beautiful wrapping.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's beautiful. Connor with a K. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
It's almost too good.
It's almost looks
it's
professional.
Almost
looks
almost
professional.
Too good. I thought he was saying he had gifts for us.
Initially, I did too, but then I remember we had the conversation about wrapping, and I think that's what that's about. It's too damn much stuff going on.
Yep.
And there needs to just be a conversation. College football encroached on this period of the NFL where the NFL plays games on Saturdays and has for a very, very long time. College football is playing at this time of year because they're beholden to the bowls.
Yep.
That's really what it is. They're trying to satisfy the old bowl brigade and the bowl lobbying efforts, and that's why you're getting college football playoff games on it being played on New Year's Day and New Year's Eve to try to keep those bowl traditions where everything else in college football is lost, and that's why this schedule is the way that it is. I do think that college football, and when I'm talking about college football, it's really two people. It's Greg Sankey at the SEC and Tony Petitti of the Big Ten.
Yep.
And then Sankey with his television partners at the Walt Disney Corporation, and then Petitti really answers to really 3. He's got Fox, CBS, and NBC he answers to. They simply need to go to Roger Goodell and just say, what can we do to make this work so we're not competing with each other?
There's just no reason for it.
There's no reason for it. So
you got 3 playoff games tomorrow.
And one tonight. Yeah.
You don't need any NFL tomorrow.
No, I agree. So I agree too. And I would think that Goodell would be cool with giving up a Saturday, but I think he's kind of bothered that he wasn't asked. And so he stuck it to him with the biggest way possible. I mean, let's be honest. The 2 games tomorrow on the NFL side, they would headline NFL Sunday. There's no question Steelers-Ravens would be the number 1 game of the weekend. And Mahomes against Stroud is close. One of them's Sunday Night Football. One of them's America's Game of the Week.
Yeah. I think, though, don't you think the only reason that I would – let me put this out there. I would posit.
Oh, nice word.
That next year perhaps this doesn't happen.
I hope.
Because I think they needed these games to be played on Saturday to give somebody a reasonable chance to turn around and play on Wednesday. I think it's because Christmas is on Wednesday. That's the only, and it's a 4-team pod. That's the only reason they're playing Saturday.
I would also say you don't need to play on Christmas.
Fair, fine.
That's fine. I saw. I think we have.
I
the
just want to watch
for
Christmas
for later.
on Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be playing critical games on Christmas. If Christmas falls on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, fine, play your games.
Totally.
But if it's on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, give it up. Let
Thursday,
it go.
I get
fine.
Thursday's an NFL day.
It's become one. It didn't used to be one.
For sure.
There used to be. You played on Sunday and Monday, one Monday nighter. Now
Tuesday, Wednesday feels like.
Thursday was traditionally a college football game. Like when we were kids, it was the college football weekend would start on a Thursday. You'd get kind of a big game on ESPN, but the NFL dwarfed that by that. I just don't know that you need. I think it's a bit of an oversaturation, and I think it's a little bit of from a player standpoint, it's wild.
It's listen, from an organization, it's tough on everybody who's involved.
Yes,
it's Christmas,
right? It's awful.
I think that you won't run into this Saturday. I think next year. I think this Saturday will go unopposed.
I hope
for
so.
college because you're going to have the games on Thursday, so you can have people go Sunday to Thursday.
Yeah,
and then it'll be a while before this becomes an issue again.
I hope not. I hope that the NFL bails out, and I hope that college football, when they redo their calendar with a 16-team playoff, I hope they move it all back. Get started a week earlier, maybe just have 1 week after the end of the regular season to play Army-Navy, and then start the playoff right away to where the thing is done. College football's playoff needs to be done by no later than the second Monday in January.
Agreed.
It needs to be done. The college football playoff starts tonight. The championship game is January 20th. You think about if you are SMU, Clemson, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, Penn State, or even Arizona State somehow, any of those 7 teams, if they make it all the way to the national championship game, and a couple of them likely will, if that happens, they will have played 5 scheduled games post the end of their season by the time you add in a conference championship.
It's too many.
5 games.
It's too many. It's too many.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's utterly ridiculous. And to take it all the way into January is ridiculous, too.
All right. We want to talk about the NFL games?
Yeah.
Might as well play this now.
Okay, what do we got?
This is Mad Dog Russo on.
Oh, yeah. I saw
talking
this.
About talking about the Christmas Day games.
Yeah. There you go.
NFL eventually going to stop with
You're down for now.
quest to make as much money as possible. They have ruined my Christmas.
Oh, Lord.
They ruined it.
I thought
They put the games on Netflix, okay? They got the 2 games on Netflix with the Baltimore-Houston game preceded by the Chiefs in Pittsburgh. The game started at 1 o'clock. Now, I am Scrooge. I'm the Grinch. I get it. But even I got to open up a gift at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't watch the football games because you need a night game. And you got the 2-day games. And you know why they did this? Because it's Netflix. It's a global network. So they want to make sure somebody in Rome can see the Pittsburgh, Kansas City game in prime time. So they care more about the fans in Rome than they do in, obviously, Kansas City at the noontime kickoff on Christmas Day. Clark Hunt can't get to the game. Gotta go to church. I mean, how in the world do you do this? You put 2 games on Netflix, the NFL. You put them at 1 and 4:30 in the afternoon, right in the middle of the day of Christmas. Yes. There is no game at night. I cannot kick back. I cannot take my gummy. I cannot have my chocolate milk. And I can't bet on some Wednesday night because you put the games on in the afternoon, which means I'm not going to eat dinner. I'm not going to open up a gift, and I'm going to sit in front of a TV set with an eggnog at 1:20, which is inconvenience to me because you're taking care of somebody in Rome or Paris or Pakistan. Nobody cares. Strike me down.
He's the greatest of all time.
Is he okay? Has somebody checked on him?
He's great. Right? That's spectacular.
That was good stuff.
He's right.
I can't take my gummy.
I can't take my gummy and my chocolate milk, I believe was the line. So that's his normal routine, is to bet on a night game and suck down a gummy and some chocolate milk.
Yeah.
What a combo. He's right, though, and it is weird that if you are going to do NFL on Christmas, that you wouldn't do it Christmas night. Play that in prime time at 7 o'clock. I don't know why they're playing at 1 o'clock on Christmas Day. That's crazy. Quite honestly, with everything I've got going on Christmas Day, I'll be lucky if I remember this is on. And I really will be. Like, it might end up on in the background, but like, we're not going to sit at Christmas dinner and have the NFL on in the background. Like, I'll sacrifice it. I'm good.
I told the guys today I had a moment because we're up to like 35 people. We're moving to the in-laws' house around the corner because the old people are all on one floor then. Bathrooms are all on one floor.
There you go.
I don't have to get people up and down, all that stuff. And I realized, I'm like, they don't have like a Roku or a Fire Stick. I'm going to have to bring over something and take care of this and wire up Netflix.
Right.
Because the nephews are all going to be like, where's the game, Uncle
Where's
Jason?
games? Yeah.
What's going on?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I think if Christmas falls on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, fine. But I think the rest of the time, like, just punt it. It's fine. You're good. I understand your television partners want it. I can't imagine what Netflix paid for this to have this, right?
Yeah,
I can't imagine it. And everyone's obviously done very well on this league through the years. But man,
it was
and the number of people.
Penny.
Yeah,
like there's like 25 people. We saw Ian on Sunday. I won't repeat some of the conversation, but I was like, what are you doing for this? He's like, we're working it out still.
Yeah, I bet so, because his son's calling the other game, right?
Yeah.
Noah's calling one and he's calling the other. Yeah. Yeah. You just need to have a little common sense. Like, there's so many factors at play here. There's so many, like, these streamers trying to get in on live sports. Everybody wants to get on live sports. Football is the king. NFL is obviously the ultimate king, but college football is the prince underneath it, and everybody just wants their grubby hands on it. And so you're having an oversaturation. And you're having stuff that doesn't make sense. Like 2 NFL games going up against 3 college football playoff games tomorrow. That doesn't make any sense. Just lay out.
Lay out. Let them.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, we'll get your final injury report coming up here in the next few minutes. Coach is going to address the media in about 10 minutes from now. We'll have that for you as well. Coming up next, we'll take some issues around the sport, around the league. You'll also hear from Miles Harden, his conversation with Z. We will do all of that coming up next. We're off and running on a Football Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. We're brought to you by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The future of recycling is here. Rumpke Waste Recycling leading the way. The $100 million recycling facility, North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center of its kind. It's built right here in Ohio. Learn more by visiting rumpke.com. gmail.com. We go around the league, presented by Leaf Filter, official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. Brian Callahan earlier this week was asked if his team was soft. Here's Callahan on the answer.
I mean, you really want to get me going today? Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think it's complete and total bull, if you want my honest opinion. These guys are tough, man. They go after it every day. They play hard as hell. And there's at no point have we ever put on tape at any point this season that this is a soft football team. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around how that would even be a conversation. I mean, just because we don't win games doesn't mean we're soft. These guys play their ass off. They play hard. They play physical. You can ask any team that plays against us that when they come off the field, they know they played us. Yeah, that makes me relatively angry that would be some presumption. That means you just don't watch the you don't do anything about it, that you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're looking at. So I'm not going to stand for anybody calling this football team soft. I think that's bull. So if there's opinions out there that feel that way, then they don't know anything about NFL football. So I'd like you to walk in there and call one of these guys soft and see what happens.
Do you know what the genesis of that was from?
Do I know the backstory about why that question was asked?
Yeah, like why it was asked.
I don't.
Like, I don't either. Is it just from message boards, or was it like
there was a question that was asked that was like mentally and physically soft? What's your response to that?
No, but I don't like when reporters do that. That is soft on them.
Yes.
If you are going to say, I believe that your team is mentally soft, or I believe that your team isn't physical enough, how do you respond? Do you think they are physical enough? Fine. But don't go into a room like that and say, well, fans are saying that you're mentally soft, or you're a soft physical football team.
Some are saying.
Knock it off. Yes, some are saying. Stop it.
Not me.
Stop it. I wouldn't say it.
But some
are saying it. Fans are saying it.
And they may be experts, so we should listen.
Stop it. So I've never I'm not like
I love that answer, though.
I love the answer. Not like I know I'm not watching every Tennessee game, but at no point have I even heard anything about that they're soft.
Yeah.
Like come on.
Why would you ask that?
That's what I'm saying. It had to come from something. It had to come from a message board or a podcast or somebody saying that they were soft. You hear this all the time. Oh, did the guys from such and such podcast, they said this, especially if it's like a former player, then that really gives them green light to go at him. Chris Canty said this, and this is what. Okay,
Chris Canty's not in our locker room.
What do
you want me to do with that?
How do you respond to that?
Yeah,
it's a mess, absolute mess. Patrick Mahomes will start against the Texans. Tomorrow, as we anticipated that he would. The reason for this is they don't really have any margin for error, and they really need the bye.
Yes.
So they're trying to, if they can win this week and next, then they can chill in Week 18 and essentially get a 2-week bye.
Yep.
So that's what Kansas City's trying to do there. That would be, for them, win these two, chill for 2 weeks would be pretty dang good.
I think it's an opportunity I think nobody's even talking about Houston as a potential contender in the AFC.
No, it's just because it's such an uneven year. When they were really good early, then Nico went down, and they've just never quite been the same. CJ came back to earth this year.
If they go 0-2 in these games, it cements that they are not a player in the AFC. But if they somehow go 2-0 over this
they have
Saturday
Baltimore
Christmas,
next.
Yes,
Houston does.
Yeah, they go Chiefs, Ravens. If they go 2-0 there,
well, yeah, even a split.
A good-looking split.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty good about it.
I wanted to see what
Not the old 7-10.
No, the 7-10. No one's picking that up. Maybe the kid.
Maybe.
Would he have that in him?
I don't know.
CJ, 64% completion.
My old Uncle Steve would have had it in him.
He had it in. He could really get that thing spinning.
Could roll the rocks. Yeah.
Wow. He hasn't.
Stroud.
Yeah, 17 touchdowns is all he's got on the year. In terms, he hasn't had a 300-yard passing game in a long time.
Joe Burrow hasn't had a 300-yard passing game against the Browns since 2020. What?
There you go. He's had several in the last few weeks. Last time CJ threw for 300 yards was October 6th. He only has 2 games of that all year. 331 against Buffalo in a 23-20 win, and 345 in a 24-20 win over Jacksonville. That was right when Nico got hurt.
And
we were like,
dominant.
when Nico was dominant, we're like, oh, they're going to be a squad.
Yep.
And then he got hurt, and then it was 192-86, and it fell down. Go ahead. Gibby, did you have a Do you have something?
Who would like?
I think we should hear from Miles Harden.
Oh, we should hear from okay. Well, we will do that. I should give you a couple other things before we hear from Miles Harden. TJ, you're good. I can handle this part. Because he's got to go, right?
He does.
Yeah. TJ Watt is going to play tomorrow at Baltimore. George Pickens will not. I would have bet anything that would have been inverted.
I agree, given that ankle injury. I'm kind of shocked by that.
Yeah, and I mean, Pickens was I don't understand the Pickens thing. I'm not sure where that is coming.
Isn't he? You said yesterday. I said something. You said no, he's practicing.
Well, I saw
Brooke Pryor showed video.
I saw somebody show a video. I wanted to say it was Brooke of him in practice. So I don't know. Yeah, we're talking about practice here. All right, now let's have a listen. Here is Z with cornerback Miles Harden.
Very happy to be joined.
You're down 4.5.
Miles Harden, and Miles got to make your NFL debut last week. How did that feel?
It felt good, just being able to go out there and compete with the guys and just to fill in when MJ went out and to help the defense play. It was good.
So back in the preseason, you were having a great preseason. You're having the joint practices, that big interception against Minnesota. Everybody was really excited, and then you suffer the injury and the setback. Mentally, that had to be very hard. How did you kind of deal with that, process it, and keep your eye on, the ability to return it and get in the game?
Really, it was just being able to know that everything happens for a reason, being able to know that my time's coming and just being able to wait it out, and it just so happened to be that week.
So you do get the opportunity last week, and it's Patrick Mahomes on the other side. You make your NFL debut against Patrick Mahomes. Was that kind of like, it's the NFL, a little wild in a sense?
It was wild, going into the game, but once it was time to go into the game, I wasn't worried about it.
It was just football.
But leading up to the game, I was like, oh, it's not Patrick Mahomes over there. But when I got into the game, I wasn't worried about that. It was just about playing football.
What was B. Lynch telling you going into this game, knowing that you were going to get that opportunity to make your NFL debut? Now, we didn't know it was going to be 41 snaps, obviously, but that's how the game played out, and you were ready, and quite frankly, you did a great job out there because you made a couple of plays in coverage, made a couple of tackles, and we didn't really have to say your name much, which is a DB. That's typically a good thing.
Yeah, it was good. Coach B. Lynch just told me to stay ready. Never know when your opportunity comes, and when it comes, just seize the opportunity. So,
how helpful is it to have a guy like Denzel Ward in your room who's playing at an all-pro level? He's done it, a 3-time Pro Bowler. He'll be a Pro Bowler again this year, to kind of be on the field with you, talking to you. You got veterans in the safety room as well, keeping you where you need to be.
It's very good, just being a young guy out there. All the guys were out there helping me, just giving me reminders, hey, we're going to go here on certain things, and just being able to be out there with those guys and communicate with them, it was good.
One of the things you know about the NFL, there's no rest. So you go from Patrick Mahomes to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is the number one passing offense in the NFL. Burrow leads the league in passing. Jamar Chase leads the league in receiving. They got T. Higgins as well. They're dynamic. What have you seen from them on tape, and how do you prepare for this challenge, which is going to be a big one again?
They're a good group of guys, but, keep the main thing, just focus on what we could do to stop them and go out there and play.
Was that like for you? You probably thought about it your whole life. What's it going to be like to play in an NFL game? Now that you've done it, is it kind of like, all right, now it's just work. It's just doing the job.
Yeah, now it's just work. It was good being out there my first game. It just so happened to be my birthday week, too.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And then my family came. So I was
going to ask you, so you had a lot of people in the stands?
Yeah, I had my family there, too. So, it was just a surreal moment, having my family there, my birthday week. I'm back elevated. I'm playing. It was just good, a good feeling.
Did you know going in you were probably going to get, some snaps, and then obviously it turned out to be full-time, and this week you're in a position, obviously, if MJ's not able to be back, to be out there full-time. They're in 11 a ton, so you're going to be out there a lot.
Yeah, I figured I was going to play on special teams, but that many defensive snaps I didn't know until it happened, so just being ready to go out there and take the opportunity.
How much quicker is an actual NFL game than what you experienced in college or even what you saw in the preseason?
It's way faster. It's way fast. I'm not going to lie to you, it's fast.
Yeah. How much communication do you have to do? That's things people I don't think they realize. If one guy makes motions in, it changes everybody's responsibilities.
It's a lot of communication going on out there. As I was just talked before the play and after the play, just seeing if we got the calls and knowing what we're doing out there.
All right. You got 3 games left here. Give me a personal goal that you have for yourself over these final 3 games.
Just to be able to go out there and compete with my guys, finish the year with them, and just look forward to next season, getting back, staying healthy.
What was the big thing after the game that Brandon Lynch, what did he give you? Something that he was very pleased that you did, and something that he said, all right, this is going to be a point of emphasis this week?
There's always those 2 to 3 players you wish you could get back, but he just told me to keep my head up. It was a good start, and just keep moving on from there.
What do you want Cleveland Browns fans to know about you when they see you out there on Sunday?
That you could trust me, that we're going to go out there and make some plays.
I love it. Make a play. That's who the B. Lynch say that every day. Make a play.
Make a play.
Make a play. Myles, thanks so much for the time and best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
And join us Sunday against the Bengals to cheer on the Browns toward a victory with our friends at Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's proud to support the Cleveland Browns through the Tito's Victory Vodka program by committing a $1,000 donation to Cleveland Animal Protective League towards its mission to foster compassion and end animal suffering. Thank you, Tito's. Sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. We're going to take a quick timeout. Coach on the other side of it. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Leaf Filter, the official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. Go to leaffilter.com/GoBrowns to schedule your free gutter inspection and to receive your exclusive promo offer, or call 833-LEAF-FILTER today. Coach should be at the podium here momentarily. Get a final update in terms of a status report of our guys, who's in, who is out. Probably some thoughts on the week from DTR as he sets to make his first start of this season in Cincinnati against Joe Burrow and a high-flying group of Bengals. There is a point total out there that it seems like a minimum requirement, and it's high 20s, low 30s. If you don't get there, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. We did get some decent news yesterday with MJ Emerson and his return, so maybe some good news there. And then Chief today was back at practice, so that potentially could be a topic of discussion as well. They beat us here, the opportunity to exact a little revenge and also end their season, which I don't think is lost on any of our players, because a loss would certainly do that.
Would love everything to do with that, especially in that stupid stadium.
It's not great.
It really isn't.
It's not great. The location's pretty good, though. I like the places to eat and drink around there. I think that's pretty good. Good establishments.
So we had that conversation when I started this gig 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, there was a handful of places to go to.
Yeah.
The waterfront's awesome now.
Yep.
Lots of restaurants, good food scene, good bars. My favorite, O'Malley's in the Alley. Although we're not staying downtown, so I can't walk around
Kentucky?
the corner to that. No.
Oh, you're not? I thought for sure you'd be in Kentucky.
Of the city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're staying in a different. I think it had everything to do with Thursday night football and maybe hotel space. And then when we got flexed, we couldn't move back downtown because there's weddings and. You got to book those far in advance. Like our travel team books those things 8 months in advance.
You forget about the logistics of that, right? To go from all along you're planning for Thursday Night Football, then all of a sudden you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Burrow has thrown for just under 4,000 yards on the season, 36 touchdowns, 8 picks, 69% of his passes. He's been lights out the last few games. Really hasn't struggled all year, but even the last few has been particularly strong. He has thrown a pick in 3 straight games. He threw 2 in the win at Tennessee over the weekend. They won by 10. But before that, it was 369, 309, 356, 428, and they threw it a lot. I mean, the lowest number of attempts in his last 5 was the 37 passes he attempted in Tennessee. Other than that, it's 44 against Dallas, 38 in a loss to Pittsburgh, 50 in the loss to the Chargers, 56 in the loss to Baltimore is what they have done. So they will test what we are in the secondary as much as anybody all season, as Burrow leads the NFL in passing.
Official injury report. Njoku, MJ, Cedric Tillman, questionable to face the Bengals on Sunday. Myles Garrett, good to go. Not shocking at all. Shelby Harris ruled out. Well, that would mean Mike Hall's going to get some extra snaps.
Well, that's good.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Chief, Tillman,
no disrespect to Shelby,
and MJ are all questionable.
Yes, but
MJ
would mean 2 of those have to clear concussion protocol. So
yeah, MJ would be critical.
I would think you'd want him on Sunday.
Yeah, that gives you a little bit of a chance against Higgins. And then Jamar Chase is going for the Triple Crown. Right now he leads the NFL in receptions, yardage, and touchdowns. So he's chasing that. Burrow chasing the passing championship, so all that on the line. All the while they're holding on to slim playoff hopes, and hopefully we can extinguish those by the time we get to Sunday afternoon in Cincinnati. Again, Coach should be, I would assume, heading to the podium quickly.
Yeah, I think he might have taken a quick detour.
Quick.
Coming off the practice field.
I can tell you right now, Coach is walking down right now because I just see him walk in front of us. So I can tell you, Kev, that it's going to be in about, I would say.
Thank you for that. That helps me a lot.
I would say in 48 seconds, you'll see Coach at the podium as he was making his way down. So he just came across. Yeah, it's crazy what they are offensively. Also, what Chase Brown has got them since they went to him full time. He gives them a little bit of a different element. All of the positives about their offense, though, the opposite is true of their defense. They lost Logan Wilson early. They lost Big Sam went down last time out catching passes, so that doesn't help their side of it either. And it is a soft landing for DTR in that sense, that you should be able to have plays through the air, and if somehow Tillman could get through, that would be helpful as well. Let's get some answers from Coach. He's at the podium now.
You're down.
Ooh, Tom. All right. Good week of practice. Good to be outside. Energy, juice. Guys are really competing hard. So got to go on the road, play really well as a team to find a way to win versus a good football team. So that's our focus. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Either Said or Martin are close to clearing the protocol?
They're in the appropriate place in that protocol. You just have to follow each step, and we're hopeful on both guys.
With Said, Kevin, usually a guy doesn't practice for 2 weeks before clearing the protocol. So I'm just curious how that kind of works, where he's allowed to practice but isn't out of the protocol.
Yeah, I'd have to get into the ins and out of that thing, which is, it's a really good protocol. They do a great job communicating with us, which the guys can and can't do based on how they're feeling and that type of thing. So we'll just follow it to a T, really.
How's his eye?
Yeah, I think he's good. Good to go. Just felt a little something, but he'll be okay.
I know he didn't practice the first couple days, but today that hamstring is, I imagine it's something that right up to the game time with him.
He practiced today. He's very motivated to play. We'll see how he responds to practicing today and make the decision on Sunday.
How have you felt like PCR has looked over this past week of taking starting run?
Yeah, I think he's doing a nice job. I think it's so important for young quarterbacks, young players, period, to get better every single day of the week. I think what happens on Wednesday when you get handed a game plan, it feels like you're drinking through a fire hose. There's a lot of information, and then by Friday you feel really good about it. So I think there's a natural progression for a quarterback, certainly a young quarterback, and the goal is for Sunday he feels really good about it, and I think we're trending there.
Speaking of Dorian, when he's played for you, I know it's been sporadically, but it feels like it's kind of frenetic a little bit sometimes. Like, do you talk to him about having to calm down, whether it's trying to hurdle guys or firing the ball too hard?
Well, I think each player certainly has their own style, if you will, and his style is the way he's played his whole life, and it's gotten him here, and he's had great success. Certainly you want to do things that take care of yourself in those moments, Scott, like you're talking about, but he really understands how to play this position and has to know when to take care of himself and those type of things. But part of playing free on Sundays is just knowing your job and understanding your role on the team.
Being a little bit limited with the shoulder this week, is he still going to be the number 2?
Potentially. I want to know how he feels really going through this week. Didn't feel great, but see how he responds in the next couple days. Just sore, yeah, from previous game.
Was your fair catch free kick today?
We watched it as a team. Great job. Congratulations to Coach Fick and the special teams coach out there. He was a good friend, and they were on top of it. So we definitely watched that this morning as a team.
You would have worked on at some point during
We talk about it quite a bit. Bubba was playing on the 49ers when they did it the last time in a game, and obviously was not good because that was the first one that was good last night. But it's something you always think about on a backed-up punt. That punt was the punter was standing on, the 10-yard line, so you're not thinking about it in the moment until that 15-yard penalty kicks in, and then certainly it'd be with no time on the clock. It's kind of a no-brainer.
The strength of kickers' legs these days, we've seen kickoffs challenge the uprights. Do you think that improves, that maybe that can be something that coaches think about? Or
I think it's so rare, though, because if you miss that, you're covering the kick. There's risk involved there as well. So I don't know that it's something that you'll see more of. All those variables have to be in place in a very unique situation.
This is expected to play this game. That's the word out of Cincinnati. So, what does that add to the game?
Yeah, great player. We have a ton of respect for this team, but certainly T. Higgins is a elite player. He goes up against the ball versus every coverage, great speed. As you know, they have multiple guys that you have to concern yourself with.
Around just the last few weeks, just how has he sort of taken on an even bigger role in that offense, running and catching? Yeah,
another player we know well. We know what he's capable of. Can make plays, like you mentioned, in the run game, in the pass game. Runs hard. He's quick, elusive. He's a really good player.
Shelby down, is that an opportunity for Mike Hall?
Yeah, it's an opportunity for all those guys, Daryl. I think certainly Mike, as he's come back and had a role for us, his reps will increase. But I think Shelby's played really, really good football for us. So this is a thing where a bunch of guys have to take on a bigger role.
Since leading the league with sacks, what makes him so effective, and how have you seen Jermaine, whatever, his 4 stars now?
Sure. Hendrickson's the first thing you notice about him is his motor. He just goes really, really hard throughout the down. You have to, even if you're double teaming him or a running back's over there, a tight end's over there, he's just going to keep rushing. So understanding that you have to play through the whistle versus him. And then he's got a great combination of athleticism, bend, power. Really, he can do it all.
Emphasis go this week on ball security and trying to win this turnover battle?
Yeah, it's. I wish you could speak it into existence, Mary Kay. You can't. I've tried. It's a technique thing. Is so much of it, and that's what we put the focus on. I think you don't say to a player, "Hey," if a player drops the ball, you don't say, "Hey, catch the ball." You give them coaching points. You tell them about their technique. So we focus on the technique and just understand how important that ball is to everything we're trying to do.
Denzel having arguably his best season as a pro this year. Jamar Chase is lighting it up. So is Joe Burrow. Obviously, I know you're rooting for Denzel, but just as a football coach and fan, how exciting of a matchup is that?
Certainly 2 great players. I think when you're talking about competition and this game, sometimes this game does come down to one-on-one matchups. Now, it's not every play, but sometimes it's a great defensive end versus a great offensive tackle, or a great wide receiver versus a great DB. Those are the matchups that I think are fun for our fans to watch, certainly as coaches and players. But it's also within the framework of the greatest team game there is. So there's certainly matchups, but it's going to be about us playing really good defense when facing the Bengals offense.
Earlier this week, that when asked about if he thinks this is kind of like an audition for him to be the starter next year, he said, "Oh yeah, excited for the opportunity, going to make the most of it." Is that how you guys view these last 3 games with him?
Yeah, I'm so week to week, honestly, and every player should feel that way. That's the right attitude to have, but I'm really I don't know who we play next week. We're so concerned with this one. You guys have to tell me. Okay, Miami it is. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go, Coach, from the podium. Obviously, the kind of the headliner there, Chief, wanting bigly to play in this game and hopeful to be able to do so, but nothing more than what you're getting from the injury report in terms of questionable with Chief Tillman and MJ Shelby out. So that's where you stand.
I think the other thing is taking a look at who will be the backup quarterback.
That's the other part of it. Jameis with the sore shoulder, and so potentially it could be Bailey Zappi. He wouldn't comment on who would back up DTR in the game on Sunday down in Cincinnati. We will get you your keys to the game, the over-unders, your Sunday forecast down in Cincinnati as well. That's all coming up in the second hour of the program. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Boost your game day this season with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Place your first bet at $25 or more. You get $150 back in bonus bets. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for a little game we like to call Over Under. And with 3 games to go, we have a 1-game lead for Gibby.
That's right.
Get it. It's amazing how this 2 years in a row has come right down to the end.
I know. It used to be just a snooze fest.
Yeah, he's really come along. Last week, Dr. Z, very, very nice. So robust 3-2.
Solid.
Very solid.
Winning.
Gibbe went 4-1. So he went, you're yo-yoing. You go 1-4, then 4-1. You get that.
If the total wasn't involved in this, it would be I'd be running away with it.
If what wasn't involved?
The totals. I always just say over and we go under basically every game.
It's okay to go under and still win.
You know, it's funny. The last time you went under, you got it wrong.
Right. Because I tried to switch it. I never get them right. I never get right.
Yeah, you done okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, you done all right. There was a stretch where you missed every single one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was like week
the first 7 games.
First 7 games.
Over 7.
There's a lot of unders.
Yeah.
A lot of unders. It's hard this time of year because you don't know what you're going to get, but we do the best we can here at the Over-Unders Committee. Gibby with a 1-game lead, 5 games over 500. Dr. Z is 3. One back. One back is the best way to put that. All right, here we go. Dr. Gibby, this stone starts with you. Joe Burrow, passing completion percentage. 69.5.
Oof. I'm going to go under. It's going to be close, though. I think it's going to be around 65.
He's at 68.5 on the years. This is slightly above that.
I mean, I just have to.
You got 3 weeks left. You don't have to zig yet.
I don't have to zig yet.
It wins when you got him.
So he's been over 70% in 3 straight. What's it? 69.5.
69.5.
So he would be 3-3 in the last 6, but 3 in a row would have gone over Tennessee, Dallas, and Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Gibbe here. I'm going to go under. I do think that our pass rush and Myles in particular may lead to some throwaways, and that's what you're going to get.
All right, there you go. So 2 unders on that one.
There we go.
Next.
Over, under.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson making his first start of the season. We are looking for a completion percentage from him, Dr. Z, of 58.5.
Over. Not a doubt in my mind.
Over. Gibbe? 58.5. I don't think he's done that yet in the time that he's played, but he also hasn't had this type of opportunity. And this defense is bad.
I think it has to be over. I think I have to take the over.
Quarterbacks have gone over in 4 of the last 6.
Quarterbacks aren't making their first start of the year, though, in any of them except
Herbert and Cooper Rush are the 2 that went under.
Over for both of you. Next.
Over, under.
All right, we're doing fantasy points here.
I suck at this.
It's fantasy
Openly
points.
suck.
No, this one is where, by the way, this has been my
This should be. This is it's where you made your hay as an
spot
individual, as a professional, fantasy expert. All right, you can have Jamar Chase fantasy points, or our receivers fantasy points. You don't get Chief.
Holy moly! No Chief, just
no Chief.
wideouts.
All of our wideouts, every wide receiver who catches a pass,
but I don't
or you
know
can have Jamar Chase.
Ugh.
It's you, Gibbe.
I'd love to put a Zagura stipulation in, but I'm above that.
You looking for a Tillman?
Yeah, I was going to say if Tillman plays, I want in on that. But
you want our guys?
I don't want to be that guy. Like I'm making a prediction at 2:04 on a Friday.
You get all of our receivers.
Sounds to me like you're stalling. How about you make the prediction?
Which way are you going?
Chase.
All right. So over Jamar Chase. Dr. Z?
Victory.
Dr. Z?
He's smoking a victory cigar wearing Bengals PJ pants. Unbelievable. Browns.
Under.
I mean, I have to feel like if it was Chase and Higgins, obviously. But I think Chase 55 yards and a touchdown last time. We're going to try to contain him. There's going to be a lot of Denzel Ward on Jamar Chase.
I am great being wrong. Denzel had a great cut yesterday. He was like, I want them, like, they asked him about the number of targets Chase gets, even though he's covered. He goes, great, perfect. They didn't throw at me 2 weeks ago in Pittsburgh. Not once. I'm all for this.
Yeah.
Let him throw every time.
Does he follow, or will he stay?
He's hoping to.
He typically does not, but I could see it. I could, especially if MJ's not able to go, I would say absolutely. Although Jamar Chase is a tough matchup for anybody in the NFL, but MJ,
he's going to get 12 targets. Chase is going to get 12 to 4. I mean, they're going to throw it to him. They want him to win the Triple Crown. So that's it's just how many do they complete. Next.
Over, under.
Sacks and turnovers, 3.5.
Please.
All right, Waffle.
I'm not waffling on anything. I'm just acquiring information.
Sure looks like the Waffle House is open here today.
God, I love the Waffle House. I wish there was one closer to me.
Seriously.
I would go once a week.
Yep.
I love everything about it. I love the communal.
Over.
I like sitting at the bar. I like watching them cook.
Yeah.
I like everything about it.
That's it. The first time I took the girls, I go, we're going to sit at the counter. We're sitting on the stools.
Of course you are.
We're watching the magic.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
delicious.
Are you even going to Waffle House?
It's
if you're
so
sitting in
good.
a booth? No.
I'm taking the over. Not even thinking about it.
Over.
I was ready.
For Gibbe, sorry.
Well, the waffler was waffling.
Over. What did you decide? You were first. Which one did you decide?
Over.
You went over too? Over. Over.
He's super soft-spoken today.
What's
going on with you?
I didn't hear it. I missed it. Must have been talking
Who's
about the Waffle House.
soft-spoken?
You.
What do you mean? I had you guffawing a few minutes ago.
Is the Waffle House a franchise? Or is that all? They got to be franchised, right?
I would think so.
Wouldn't that be something if I went in the Waffle House business?
Yeah, it is because Jonas Brothers have a song about the Waffle House, actually.
And it is, so it's franchised?
I believe
privately
so, yeah,
owned.
it's all over the place, yeah.
Well, no, I know it's all over. I know it's a franchise. I'm saying, is it privately owned?
Yeah.
Or can you franchise them?
How about?
I think it's franchised.
Can I be a local owner of a
we
Waffle
have
House?
one OF adjacent. So when people
Oh my God!
pour out and they're looking at 2 in the morning for a
little snack.
It's a 24-hour diner, kids.
Come on.
Come on. I'll run that part of the option for you.
God, you'd thrive.
Yep.
Who would want to see Gibbe slinging hash at 2:30 in the morning?
100%. Give me the griddle.
First of all,
I would sign up for that right now.
Gibbe
what a business model.
He would abandon his post on the reg to be over at OF.
Well, he's fine, but as long as he's back at the end of the evening.
I got to be there when closing time.
Got to be there.
All right, fine.
He's an accountability guy. He'll be there when we need him to be.
Accountability guy.
All right, next.
Over, under.
The actual 46.5, Gibbe.
46.5.
Yep. I think they score a lot. I just over. Z.
To the moon.
Over?
Let's go. So what differences do we have?
One.
I would have gone under. I think the only chance we have to win is if it's under.
Just the fantasy is all we have different?
That's the only different. Yeah.
I don't feel good about that.
We are not beating them 31 to 30.
Bite your tongue.
It was 21.
This is like a
here,
Pac-12 after dark
was
game.
Was it 21-7 or 21-14?
This is like a Pac-12 after dark game.
You think? If it's over, I have a hard time thinking it's going well for us.
They've lost a bazillion games in the 30s.
How many of them were in our situation offensively?
We had a shootout with the Ravens, winners.
That was Jameis. Like what? It's a different world. Jameis shoots it anywhere.
Pac-12 after dark.
Sling it around.
Write that down. You heard it here first.
You did. You ready for your keys?
Yeah.
Go.
When we've got the football, we cannot turn the ball over.
No.
Okay. And that's as basic as it gets, but it needs to be said when you are leading the NFL in giveaways over the last 7 games. We cannot have pre-snap penalties. Pre-snap penalties for us seem to come on plays that would otherwise have been first downs or touchdowns every time. None of those. We need to be aware of Trey Hendrickson at all times. He is the one guy on this defense that can wreck this game. 12.5 sacks. He leads the NFL. Had 2 sacks against us last time. We need to be aware of Trey Hendrickson. We need to chip him. We need to keep him off of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. When they've got the ball, I don't know if we get out of character for ourselves and we just play a lot of shell, and I say, go ahead. If you want to have it, let this be a Chase Brown game, Chase Brown, give him 30 carries for 160 yards. Don't care. We're not going to get beat over the top. Can't give up those chunks.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it. And I think if we do that, we've got a chance. I'll quote DTR. Every drive's got to end with a kick.
But what you just described, though, would be an under game.
Yeah.
And yet you went over.
That's right.
Sure you don't want to change that?
Because I don't know that we're going to be able to do I don't know that all these things are possible.
I thought you would have gone under on that.
All right, fine.
I'll
go
under.
I'm
not going to.
No, it's changed.
No,
when it
we're not.
Costs me, no, change it.
We'll talk about it.
Change it.
I don't want to do that to you.
I won't continue.
I feel like I peer pressured you into it. I don't want that.
You did. Well, you've badgered me. You
no,
bullied
because
me.
if it goes the other way, I'll never hear the end of it. So stay with your gut. Stay with your gut.
Under.
No, it's going over.
I don't want.
It was final.
Let the record show I have chosen under.
I bullied you into it.
I've chosen under.
But the music is off.
Of my own
free will. The music is off. Kevin is right. The music is off.
Of my own free will. I have every opportunity to change it. Let's get real.
Opportunity to change it. The weather down there on Sunday, a high of 33 and sunny. Perfect.
I'll sign up for that every day.
Yeah, you'd take that Saturday night in the horseshoe as well if that's the way that thing shook, but it's not going to be. It's going to be a lot colder than that.
Wear some extra padding on those steel benches.
God, that's going to suck. OBM, the provider of copiers and document services for your Cleveland Browns, will tackle any size office. 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. We'll go behind enemy lines in Cincinnati with our good buddy Ben Baby. That's coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Rumpke Waste Recycling, the recycling leader, invested over $100 million to build North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Ohio. Visit Rumpke.com to learn more about tours and how this facility helps grows our circular economy. Time to head behind enemy lines. Our good buddy, ESPN NFL Nation Bengals reporter Ben Baby joins us on the Twisted Tea Hotline, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. Ben, thanks so much for taking the time. Well, there's a chance. It's a 12%-ish chance for Cincinnati to make the postseason. I would imagine at the beginning of the year that was the very minimum of requirements, was make the postseason, and for most it was probably, hey, let's go win the Super Bowl. How did this season play out the way that it has to where these are the desperate times these Bengals are in?
Yeah, when you're a team that can't beat good teams like the Bengals have been throughout the course of the year, and you can't, find a way to close out games from a winning position, you end up in a spot where you're hoping that other teams lose and you can take care of business in December. So, I think that, around here you definitely sense that there's more hope than there's been the last few weeks, a couple of back-to-back wins and seeing it, especially after last night with the result that happened in that Chargers-Broncos game. It feels a little more tangible, but, we just talked to Zach Taylor a little while ago, and he said, it doesn't matter if we don't take care of our own stuff. So that's kind of been the message, but they understand that there is an outside glimpse that they could somehow salvage the season and make their way in the playoffs.
And they'd be a dangerous team in the playoffs because of this offense. Burrow is playing at an unbelievable level. Jamar Chase leading the Triple Crown. Chase Brown, though, to me has been kind of the real find, right? That fifth rounder, somebody we liked kind of coming into this season. When Moss goes down, he's now the guy. How has he changed what they're able to do offensively?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of conversation over how well his offense was going to look without Joe Mixon, and you see how well Mixon did initially in Houston. But when they made the move to get rid of him, you wanted to hope that you could find a more explosive run game, and I think over the last few weeks you've definitely seen that. There have been plays and touchdowns that Chase Brown has made that, quite frankly, weren't being made in previous years. And when the teams when they defend the Bengals like they do, given how much they pass the ball, you need somebody to go and get those big plays on the ground that gives defenses some fear that the ground game can reel off a big play on any given handoff. And I think that's something that Chase Brown brings to the table. His vision has really started to get better as he's gotten more reps ever since Zach Moss went on IR with his neck injury. And so, we'll see how much they'll be able to run on Cleveland. But I think, that's made this offense even more dynamic. And you look at it, this has been one of the best offenses in the league, even though Joe Mixon isn't on the roster.
Ben, how difficult has this been for Burrow in the sense that he's having a career year statistically, and they're doing Jamar's going to probably win the Triple Crown, all of those things, and yet the wins aren't. You mentioned they haven't beaten a good team, and there were some frustrations on the sideline against Tennessee last week. Where's his head with how this season has gone?
Yeah, I think you see it more so, especially on game day. But there have been conversations, over, throughout the week over what the standard should be and where things need to go. And I think that Burrow is as in tune as anybody over what the expectation should be. And I think that he is very much aware and having conversations that I've had that, he knows that this, if he's having a great year, Jamar's having a great year, and yet they're not able to capitalize on that. And in that moving forward, they need to figure out ways to be competitive at the highest level. In talking to Joe after last year, he told me that, even if he had stayed healthy, he felt like it wasn't a roster that was good enough to compete at the highest level, and they weren't really doing what they needed to do. And so I think that frustration maybe you're seeing this year also maybe stems a little bit from last year, he knowing deep down that team wasn't as good as it was in 21 and 22, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And so there's going to be a lot of big questions about this Bengals team and franchise moving forward, and are they doing enough to support guys playing at all pro levels?
Ben, the reason that we're having these discussions is because of the defensive side of the ball, right? That's been what has held this football team back, and they've made so many investments in early draft picks on the defensive side of the ball over the last few years. What's kind of the sense of why this defense is not working? And now you got the sack leader. Knowing their history, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep Trey Hendrickson. What do you kind of make of this defense today, but then also where it goes from here?
Yeah, it's crazy. You talk about three premium positions in the NFL when you've got three of the best players at those given positions and you're not even in the playoff picture right now. That's almost impossible to do. The defense, there's a lot of injuries on the defensive line, but even then, I think even healthy, were you going to get the production you needed? I don't think so. The cornerback situation, I don't think they were expecting Cam Taylor-Britt to have the regression that he did this year, a guy who had played really well, and quite frankly, had he had the seasons he's had in previous years, was a potential Pro Bowl candidate. Instead, was a guy who gets benched in the middle of the season. So I think the consistency in that secondary just hasn't been there. The playmaking hasn't been there. We're seeing drop-off from some veterans on that side of the ball, and I think all of that has really took its toll. And then I think that Lou Anarumo as well, some of the stuff schematically that has worked for him previously just hasn't come off as well. And, they have played better in recent weeks. Geno Stone hinted that, maybe they might have simplified things a little bit. Now, Lou kind of downplayed that when we talked to him this week. But, I think that all of those things go into why this defense hasn't been what it's needed to be.
The other thing is there's this sense of this last version offensively that this would be it. The common thinking is that T. Higgins will go on to different pastures, but I heard Joe a couple of weeks ago not really ready to close the door on that. T switched agents. He's now being represented by the same agent as Jamar Chase. Is there a sense that these are the last couple of games with this group together, or is there some way that others like us cannot see where they're able to keep these guys together, at least offensively?
Yeah, no, I think Joe is very confident that they're going to find a way to make it happen. He's not revealing what that is, because I've tried to get it out of him as to how exactly that's all supposed to work. They also have to spend money on that defense too, and they're going to be, the offensive line is going to need some work this year as well. You look at their guard play; it's been left a lot to be desired, and they're going to need starting guards next year. If they decide to run it back, I think that might be a tough situation for them in 2025. But when you look at it, it's, Joe seems to genuinely believe that they could potentially have signed both those receivers. And Jamar said that there's a possibility, especially now that, they share the same agent. But, talking to folks around the league, I don't know that they share the same optimism. And I think that, depending on what happens, does now T become a bargaining chip potentially against Jamar? In whether and how those negotiations go, because I don't think people realize how tenuous that was, heading into the season. And that's, for me, that's the bigger question mark, is what happens with Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. Are the Bengals going to be willing to go out and spend the kind of money on a receiver when traditionally, we really haven't seen that up until recently. And even then, it's how, is that what you want to invest that much capital in? And so we see what the Browns have done. I think it quite honestly is probably one of the more underrated stories in the league, is how well that they have built that receiver room in getting players that maybe were undervalued in other places. When you look at what Elijah Moore brings to the table, Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, I think those were all really good moves, especially when you look at kind of the salary and how that position's being paid out.
So in some ways, is there immense pressure that these next 3 games that they take care of their business and then obviously are going to need to get some help? But if they can do that to maybe try to – do you feel like the window's maybe closing? Which is hard to imagine. A team's got Joe Burrow. Their windows should be always open, but it doesn't feel like they're in a position to do a whole lot of adding around him.
Yeah, I think that's – a couple years ago, Joe said the window's his whole career. And I think that's been tested over these last couple of seasons. And I think theoretically it should be. But, I don't know that the pressure is in these 3 games. I think, they're trying to just win as many games as possible, put themselves in a good position. But really it's now all about finding who they can count on for 2025 and moving forward. And, things could break. We saw what happened last night. Mathematically, the Bengals are still in it. And, it seems conceivable that they could squeak in. And like we said at the beginning of this segment, the Bengals with that offense, I don't know if anybody really wants to play them. When you got a receiver and quarterback playing that well, the good thing about playing that style of football is that you're in every contest. And you put pressure on teams no matter how bad the defense is. It's like watching the old Big 12 from about 10 years ago. And so, if they get in, they could make as much noise as anybody. But I think right now, realistically, you're looking at what they can build on for next season. And when that window we'll get a better sense of that, what that window will look like over these next few months.
Ben, you're the best, buddy. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, that's Ben Baby, ESPN NFL Nation Bengals reporter on the Twisted Tea Hotline, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. We will go around Week 16 with a little segment we like to call Do Pay Attention to the Scores. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Elkin Elk Serious Lawyers, Serious Injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elkin Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to do pay attention to the scores.
I suggest you do.
Already 1-0.
Already 1-0 this week, which if I'm using my math really quickly, that puts us at a combined 54 games over 500 right now. The kids are thriving.
Gosh. Second home. Put a kid
What'd
into private school.
What'd you do last week?
Last week,
kept above water.
9-7, 8-8, moving right along.
Needed it. Needed the Monday sweep.
The Monday sweep for it.
Needed it.
No, those big
6-8 heading into Monday.
Yeah, we've won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go back, I'm pretty sure to Sunday night. Yeah, we won 4 in a row in prime time.
Sunday afternoon undid me.
Sunday afternoon was tough. It was a tough scene there.
Tough scene there, man.
But we're back with new opportunities.
We're back, baby.
Listen, here's the thing. There are 3 weeks left. Like, where it's another winning.
Yeah, it's easy
program.
All right, Week 16 in the National Football League. We go to Saturday. And we kick things off. Squealers, Ratbirds, and the AFC North Championship game, for lack of a better term.
This is the later game, right?
This is the later game.
Kansas City game is
put this one first, but
KC is first. Yeah.
Yep.
I can tell you this. For the Steelers, George Pickens, Justin Fields, and safety Deshaun Elliott, who is going to play a big role in this one, out.
You think Justin Fields got hurt being Lamar Jackson in practice?
How hurt is he?
He's out.
He's not playing.
Yeah.
So he's probably playing Lamar in practice, and he got hurt playing Lamar in practice.
That's insane.
I like Justin Fields.
I do too.
Meanwhile, the Ratbirds have some receiver issues. Nelson Aguilar officially out with a concussion. Rashad Bateman with a foot, questionable. Their Friday practice was on Thursday. He did not practice. So something that bears watching going into Saturday.
Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers.
Ratbirds hosting the Squealers. Bo Bishop lead us off.
No Pickens? Is he out?
Pickens.
I don't think they're going to get housed twice in a row. I like Baltimore winning this game. I don't think that anyone's clinching the AFC North. I just don't think Pittsburgh's getting housed 2 weeks in a row. So I like Baltimore winning a close one, 24-20.
Well, things get real interesting for our Week 18 games.
I got to tell you right now, I feel like without Pickens in a matchup of this magnitude, they're going to be like Scotty on the USS Enterprise. I can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power. They don't have the power. Lamar Jackson threw 5 touchdowns, 4 incompletions last week, ran for 60 yards. I know it was against the G-men. They toyed with him, but
our G-man could have done that against
he went
the
backwards in the MVP voting. I think he wants to make a statement. I think the Ravens want to make a statement, and I think statement made. I think this one could actually be surprisingly ugly to the tune of 28-17 Ravens.
So just in terms of last few times the Ravens played like talent, they beat the Bengals by 1. They lost to the Steelers 18-16. They beat the Chargers by 7. They lost to Philly 24-19. So they're front runner-ish.
I think this could be
when they play the bads. The Pickens thing's real.
Pickens thing's real.
I
mean, they.
Oh, I did that wrong.
We should have done much better against them, given the fact that Pickens didn't play because they didn't have anybody. Next, and it's actually the early game. Texans on the road at Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes is a go. Chiefs hosting the Texans. Zagura.
I don't know. The Chiefs don't impress me. They don't blow anybody out. I feel like even if they're up 10, this could be a backdoor. If they win, it could be on a Harrison Butker field goal. I'll say the Chiefs win the game, but they're going to win it because, thank goodness for the hook, baby. They're going to win it like 24-21.
I see it the same way. I think it's a 3-point game one way or another, and either way, it's all the same. So same but same. I like 21-18. 24-21, something like that. That just screams that to me. I would not be surprised if Houston won, though. Wouldn't shock me if Houston beat them. So Houston lost by 5 against Tennessee 3 weeks ago.
I know.
Coming off of losing, they were really competitive in Detroit.
They should have won that
by
game,
3.
though, to be fair.
What? I don't remember. What happened?
Fairbairn missed like a 29-yard field goal to win the game, and it went to overtime.
Oh, and then Tennessee
won.
Yeah.
To the Sunday 1 o'clock slate, Can I interest you in Drew Lock versus Michael Penix Jr., the gutless Falcons, hosting the more gutless Detroit? Or, I'm sorry,
I don't
Detroit,
like these games.
New York
honestly.
Football Giants.
I don't like them from
that perspective either. This is an enormous number for somebody making their first start. So tells me there's some intel that maybe he looks solid and maybe they expect him to do some things that Cousins didn't. I'll take Atlanta. It's a lot, but I'm good with it. I'll take Atlanta 27-2 because I don't think can the Giants even score 10 points? I don't know if they can. 20-10 would do it. 20-10 would do it. So I'll take the Falcons.
With you. Same.
NFC Norris action Sunday, 1 o'clock. The Lions. Now they got to start. Now they got to get a new winning streak going and get it going in a hurry. A 3-way, basically tie atop the NFC. The Lions are 12-2. I don't know if you guys heard Dan Campbell this week on 97 won the ticket. We've enjoyed our filet mignon all season. We need to get the blank moldy bread back. We need to go back to that maybe a little bit to remember where we came from. And we're going to do that.
Chewing kneecaps and all of it. They just have a lot of injuries, man.
Nothing soothes the soul and the appetite like a Chicago Bears team that's lost 8 in a row. 4-10.
It's all good for all that ails you.
You betcha.
Little bone broth. Bear bone broth.
Lions and Bears.
Lions. Easy. Comfortable. 80-74.
Oh.
Oof.
Same but different. This just screams get right, and I think the Bears are just a bunch of quitters.
I think it's a backdoor. This is
gross. You think Caleb's still going to try?
Caleb, yeah.
I don't even know if they'll try. I mean, it's bad. I got Lions.
The Fighting Yellowstones, I guess, are still alive, but they have as much of a chance as the Bengals and the Dolphins, which isn't a whole lot of anything, but they're still alive. The Fighting Yellowstones hosting the Tennessee Titans and new quarterback Mason Rudolph. Bo Bishop.
I think Rudolph will stabilize them a little bit. He actually played okay for Pittsburgh last year, and I think Anthony Richardson still throws it to the other team, and as long as that's the case, I can't possibly choose the wine in front of me. So I like Tennessee to I could see them winning, but I think at best Indy wins 20-17.
Nathan?
This is a tough one for me. If Jonathan, it's one of those things. Jonathan Taylor doesn't drop the ball at the goal line, they maybe beat Denver in Denver.
Yep. And then they got housed.
Tennessee is not great.
No.
I do feel like, though, they're maybe going to get a little – that speech is going to have been inspiring. Callahan, the way that he kind of stood up for them. I think Indiana does win this game, but Tennessee is close. I don't know. I don't like this one at all. This would be a very stay away for me in the real world.
What did you end up on? You
Tennessee.
Same.
Okay. Los Angeles, the Rams, probably not what they envisioned and probably not very pleased with the league and the scheduling here just a couple days before Christmas. Ram it in they're all must-wins at this point in the NFC West. Ram it on the road in Jersey City, taking on the New York Football Jets. Nathan.
I just think they're better. Rams.
Yeah, same.
Rams by 20.
Yeah, I think they house them. That story this week out of New York was that's real? That's real. I mean, that's wild. I cannot imagine players in that facility, what's going on in that facility, all of those things. I think they're obviously going to go for a complete blow up and buyer beware whoever takes that job, both of those jobs, because that place is an absolute disaster. Rams really organized. They'll handle business.
Garrett Wilson asked this week, hey, would you sign an extension? I don't know.
He wants to be traded.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, they basically turned him into a possession receiver.
There's been a lot of scuttlebutt that he could be a Chief next year.
How would that happen? What would the asset swap be?
I don't know. Probably a 1.
Jeez, we don't need that in the AFC.
What if you give him Xavier Worthy and it was a first rounder this year and something else?
Jeez,
it's just scuttlebutt.
That would be
take that scuttlebutt.
I think he'd go nuts
where to
there.
stick that. Up next to
This
the
is
NFC
all road dogs.
East.
I mean,
know it
home
is.
dogs.
I
It
know.
is nuts.
The Eagles. I believe they've only clinched a playoff berth. They have not. Yeah, they have not clinched their division. They can on Sunday. Eagles on the road in the worst stadium in America, visiting the Washington Commanders. Commanders in a must-win game to maintain their wild card lead. Bo Bishop, Commies hosting Eagles. I like it, game.
Buddy of mine's from Philly. He said the one thing Philly doesn't do is lose to Washington. And I don't think they do here either. I think they take care of business. Comfortable. 31-17. Eagles fly.
I like the Eagles. They are the better team. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Is the hook bringing you back?
It's so tempting. Maybe a little Daniels to McLaurin late.
Could.
To get there. But I do feel like this could be one. You know what? I'm going with it. Eagles 40. Commies 39.
Oh, baby.
These
one.
are
tough line. It's tough week.
Awful
tough week.
This is a week I would like to just punt. I would like to just.
I'll see you next week.
See you
kids.
next week.
See you on down the road.
Yeah, you made your money.
I don't think anybody.
You made your money in the last couple of weeks to get your Christmas gifts.
Yep.
Like,
enjoy your eggnog, your Tom and Jerry banner.
Sit back and count your money.
Suck down the college football games. Yeah, this is These are really hard. It's tough. This is real. I don't like the look of a lot of this.
The Arizona Cardinals are 7-7. I have no idea what to make of them week in and week out. They're on the road visiting the feisty Carolina Panthers. I'm not calling them feisty anymore. They've lost 4 in a row, but yet an opportunity awaits the Carolina Panthers. Nathan.
Like in Arizona, I like it. This line just seems so high to me. I don't know. I think it's almost an overreaction to what happened in the last game for Carolina, where they got smoked.
It's almost like we finally made you a favorite, and this is how you repay us.
Yeah. Cardinals win, but close. Close. 24-20. Cards.
Same.
To the 4 o'clock slate, DK Metcalf, a full participant in practice late day yesterday.
I mean, did you look? Did you really read those 1 o'clock games?
Huh?
Did you look at the 1 o'clock games?
I did.
Yeah.
What
you
are we
know
doing?
Why the TV people are all angry.
What are we doing?
Yeah, those
are
2
bad.
Saturday games they don't get, but they get a fresh cup of garbage.
Let me tell you something. The night game, the afternoon games aren't great either.
No.
There's nothing here. And the Sunday nighters garbage.
By the way, so glad that Amazon could flex us out last night, Thursday night. And I'm not taking anything away from the Broncos Chargers, but how do you not put into play the flex out next week of Bears Seahawks on Thursday night? There's a nice cup of poop for you.
Yeah.
Vikings have won 7 in a row on the road in Seattle. The Seahawks 3-5 at home, though, this season. Bo Bishop.
I don't like the trend that I'm doing, but I'm just going to look. I'm just following what I've been doing, and I'm just going to stick with it because it's worked pretty decent so far this season. I think that Geno getting banged up last week, and I think Minnesota's just really good. So I like Minnesota going out there. I think they do win by 6. I like Minnesota winning 24-18.
Zagura.
Same.
Well, you want to talk about bad games. This one should be a bloodletting. Patriots. Why is this a 4 o'clock game?
Great question, Gibby.
Patriots at Buffalo. Beers, wings, and an ass-kicking coming. Segura.
What would the number have to be?
It just feels so obvious.
I agree, but like when they've played similar, it's a beatdown. These two teams, by the way, played twice in the last 3 weeks.
Good for Buffalo.
Yeah. They play these guys twice, and then they
That's
play.
why the Chiefs got to keep the foot on the gas.
Yeah. They play the Pats twice, and they play the Jets once. Or the Pats play the Bills twice and the Cardinals. That's their last 3 games. So they're going to be in position to draft. They're 3-11. They're definitely going to be 3-14. It's just going to be a matter of scores.
I mean, if you're...
What's the number, though?
It's
Is
around
this the number where you're at? Because to me, I think it would be 17.5. That's a lot, but that's what I think. That's where I would be.
Should we make it that, and I'll take him?
No.
I don't know. I'm gonna take New England.
I got the Bills. I think the Bills haven't scored. I just pulled this up. The Bills have not scored less than 30 points since they won at the Jets 8 weeks ago. They're 30 every time out.
And New England
is not scoring 17. So, yeah. No, I got Bills.
Bills 40, New England 27.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Just a Drake May. Throwing to God knows who. I don't know who his receivers are.
You know what? Scrap it. Bills are going to win this one.
I don't like second-guessing Nate.
I know. I don't like it
Go
either.
with your come on, you're a man of conviction.
I am.
Lots.
What do we decide on the over-unders? Did you want the under or the over?
Over.
Okay.
Waffler today.
First thing I'm doing when I get off of this, I'm going to go look into Waffle House. I got a perfect place for it.
Hit me up.
I'm ready to go.
I might be interested in
I'm ready to go, baby.
helping that.
I think it would thrive. Right across from Costco, who gets hurt?
Nobody.
No one.
Perfect.
Next, the game that no one wants to play, much less win.
This is a real football game.
Yes, it is. This is Week 16 in the National Football League, and this is Jacksonville visiting Las Vegas. 2-12 versus 3-11. Who's playing quarterback for the Raiders?
I don't know. Jim Plunkett.
And it's sucky
Kenny
guy
Stabler,
that
Jay
Patriots used to
Schrader,
have.
Steve Berline.
Well, the number.
Mark Wilson.
I feel a lot better about it.
How many more obscure Raiders
Bishop,
quarterbacks
Jags,
can I name?
Raiders.
David
Todd
Klingler.
Marinovich.
Todd Marinovich. David Klingler.
My goodness.
Wade Wilson. Did you get a Wade Wilson in there?
Jeff George.
That's not obscure.
Give me Mac Jones and the Fighting Jaguars. I think
Vegas
is going to make
lose
sure
this
they
game.
lose because
agreed.
there's a
Same.
race between them and the Giants.
They have to
They
lose.
want their pick of the two quarterbacks, so I think they'll do everything, and they're not going to win. So I don't even know why they're favored.
Do you remember when the Raiders?
Honestly, if you're Antonio Pierce and you try to win this game, they should just fire him in the middle of it. If that
However,
happens.
his argument could be what did everybody say about what Lovie Smith did?
Right. He got lucky, is what that said. Yeah.
Jordan Akins, touchdown and 2-point conversion.
You got to pick first of your quarterbacks.
Jags 1, Vegas 0.
These suck.
Last one in the late window on Sunday. 49ers on the road, going coast to coast, visiting the Miami Dolphins. Jalen Waddle doubtful with a knee. Dolphins are a hot mess. The 49ers aren't a whole lot better other than Purdy buying his offensive lineman SUVs.
That's a big deal out of
math
because
it's more than he would have taken home this year.
Yeah, I don't understand. I didn't understand.
Now he's in a bunch of advertisements, so maybe he's.
Jeez.
If his salary is what's called $1 million,
Yeah.
he's at best taking home 600, 550. He spent $650 on the cars.
Yeah.
And the salary of those 10 linemen is a combined $36 million.
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't know why he would.
I don't know why he would
get
do
it.
that. Yeah, they should buy him the car.
They should buy it, and only one in person.
Yeah,
it's what a deal for them.
Split it.
Yeah. Nerd. This is Spumoni Central. Niners in a romp. Kyle against McDaniel.
Yeah, same. Yeah, this is let me drink my coffee in peace, Nate. There's no doubt.
Nate. Panettone.
Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay, no Antoine Winfield Jr. Buccaneers visiting the Cowboys. Baker going back to Dallas for the first time since 2020.
He was pretty good that day.
Yes, he sure as hell was. I was just going to reference that game that he was pretty good there. He is a Texas kid. He is going to be peacocking around that place. He had the comment this week about with Mike Evans getting to 1,000 yards, and he goes, Mike might not be aware of it, but I am. He's doing all the right things. I think he's going to throw for a ton of yards in this one. I like the Bucs by 1 billion.
Same. Bucks by $1 billion. Mike Evans might have 250 and 4 touchdowns.
2 Texas guys, right? Mike Evans went to A&M, and obviously Bakes from Austin.
I texted back in 2014 when I was doing some film study and was studying a quarterback from Texas A&M. My big takeaway was I don't know about this guy. I have no idea if
Can't tell
if he's gonna if he's gonna be professional or whatnot. But what I would say is that Mike Evans is good.
Throw to that guy.
Throw it to that guy. Just get him on your team. Put it in his general direction.
Yep.
And you will not have any problems.
And a gold jacket all these years later.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to tie Jerry Rice.
Yeah, yes.
11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And it's happening.
It
Barring an injury, it's happening.
So much more to come. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Sunday, University Hospital's Cleveland Browns Radio Network, 9 a.m. Browns Game Day with Ken and Gerard, 11 a.m. the Browns Kickoff Show with Andy and Tyvis, and then 1 o'clock, Z, Andrew, Gerard, Kick, Browns, Bengals. Hello, Gibby.
Good. Okay, first and foremost, Bishop, Ohio State score.
I'm going to mirror the Tennessee or the Penn State game. I like 24-21 Buckeyes.
Ooh, all right. And Sunday at Paycor Stadium, Browns and the Northern Kentucky Bengals.
We're gonna give them a heck of a fight.
15.
And D-Hop from 58.
Let's go.
31-30 Browns.
Let's go. Next level is next. Thanks for listening, buddy. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.